Hey y'all, back on here again, getting ready to get in the 5075M and go hook up to the E12, the bush hog, 12-foot batwing bush hog. Got a solid couple hours of bush hogging to do today, and it'll really be the first time that I've kind of put this E12 through the paces a little bit. Got a pretty good stand of grass, about a foot tall in some places, you know, kind of differing density of grass. So I'm gonna cut it down pretty low on the deck, about 5 or 6 inches. So should be a pretty good chance to give it a good initial, a solid evaluation. So we'll talk about it. I'll show it running a little bit, show some before and after, and you can make a judgment of your own. I mean, again, I don't use that bush hog for high grass. Rarely do I do that clipping a pasture. Most of the time I'm cutting things around the farm and really using it more like you would a grooming mower for the most part. But anyway, you'll see. So I do, kind of hard to see me in here, I do all my mowing. My mower is a Z930M. I've had it for about 1.5 years. I really like it. You know, my other mower before this was the, man, I can't even remember. I think it was a 495X. It was the, you know, it wasn't a zero turn, but it was a diesel version with a 60-inch deck. I'm out of breath again. I go 50 feet around here and I'm out of breath. Anyway, I like that mower. But I wanted a zero turn just so it cut faster, and I have a lot of things to cut around here. And so it has a 25 horsepower Kawasaki on it. And I think I've got about 50 hours on it. I'm getting ready to sneeze. So, yeah, that happens. A lot of pollen here in North Carolina. So 60-inch deck, it's got the 7-iron deck. Yeah, excuse the mess. 7-iron deck. You can step on it, it's solid. I like it. So I think it has 11-gallon fuel tank. So it's a good machine. I'd buy it again. The only thing I mean, it's silly, but these, the front tires are solid, the back ones are pneumatic. And I haven't had any flats yet, but I normally get flats because people throw stuff in my ditch. And so anyway, the first time I have a flat, I'm done with these pneumatic tires. I'm gonna get a set of those Tweels, those Michelin Tweels, the solid tires, and put on there, and they're pretty cool. So anyway, all right, I'm gonna mow for a while, and then we'll get back in the 5075 and show you all what that cutter can do with that tractor. So my 4-in-1 bucket is on. I have already, you can see there, kind of out here, I've already unhooked my hydraulics, and I've already pulled the pins. So I'm gonna go drop this bucket, and I don't need it out there weighing 900 pounds on the front while I'm bush hogging, unnecessarily weighing down the front end of the tractor, and that's one part. The other part is I'm likely to hook it on a fence post or something else that I don't want to destroy. So I'm just going to drop it. And really, I think I mentioned this on here before, I want to take the loader off. I just haven't done it yet. I don't really have a great place to leave my loader out of the weather, and I don't want to leave it in the weather. So as much as I don't want to run with the loader on, even without the bucket, I'm going to leave it on for now. You'll see. Second time's the charm, backing up to the hitch there. And looks like I still probably didn't get it right. Anyway, might be able to wiggle it in there. So no big deal on this E12. You've got 2 hydro lines here. And that was loud. And a 7-pin power connector that, you know, you don't have to run the power, but I just hook it so it stays out of the way. And so anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get this stuff buttoned up and get the driveline on, my favorite part. That driveline always kicks my tail every time. It's super heavy, and I don't like it. That's I can't say that's a negative about the bush hog because they're all that way. So, you know, I can kind of understand some of those guys I've heard about that they just buy a 2-wheel drive tractor used and leave it hooked up to the bush hog all the time. The older I get, the more I can appreciate that. So I don't know, maybe one day, but not for now. So anyway, I'm gonna get all this hooked up. Oh, I do want to show you one thing before. So actually I can't do that yet. I'll do it after I get the hydros hooked up. There you are. So she's hooked up. Drive line, hydros, chain. I gotta hook my little safety chain up. That's not necessary, but I do it. Safety first. All right, so show you something real quick. The mower is really cutting, or the cutter's a little bit higher than I'd like for it to. I'd like to get it down about another inch. You've got these cylinder blocks on here. That's the cylinder that raises and lowers the cutter, the whole cutter. So these are your adjustments. So there's a couple smaller ones on here, half, three. I think that might be a 3/4 inch, and then an 1.5 inches. Looks like I have another 3/4. So anyway, I'm gonna swap this one out with this one, and hopefully that'll get me about where I need to be. So there we go. And these bat wings have pins, no big deal. You just make sure you pull the wings all the way up so they're not bearing on the pins, because you can't get them out if they are. Once I pull these pins, we'll be ready to cut. All right, well, I'm gonna do some bush hogging. So you can see this field is not that tall. I don't know, about a foot high, a little higher than some other places. So we'll get to test the old E12 out pretty good here, and so I'll show you quite a bit of it. This is kind of how it looks after I've run it for, I don't know, a couple hours. Normal, a little bit of build up, a little bit of grass compaction there. I can hit that with the pressure washer if I wanted to be done with it. All right, well, I'm starting to mosey along here with the cutter. So I'm gonna go a little slower than I normally would, just to show you what it's doing. I'm running along about 5 miles per hour right now. Taking my time. Gotta get around the brush piles. Alright, so I'm running along about almost 7 miles per hour. And you can see how good it cuts. Pretty close to the deck. I'm impressed, I have to say. I'm impressed at how good it mows. It seems to cut better than my M8. I don't know why that would be. The M8 did all right, but this one looks to do a little better. And I'll tell you, this 5075, when you get the high dense grass with the cutter on the deck, it doesn't even change sounds. It's in EPTO, so it's doing a great job. I'm pleased. So if you're thinking about an E12, I wouldn't hesitate. I wouldn't. I'm into some pretty thick stuff here. Let's see how she does.